The news coverage has slowed, but the crisis at the southern border has not. According to our guests, current U.S. policies essentially encourage people from all corners of the world to travel to America and enter illegally. In fact, crossing that final U.S.-Mexico border is often the easiest part of a long and perilous journey. A journey that also enriches and emboldens criminal cartels along the way. It might surprise you to learn how long the pipeline is. It basically spans the entire globe, as we'll learn from our first guest, who has spent the last several months down at a critical choke point between South and Central America. I'm very excited to have with us investigative journalist and prolific war correspondent Michael Yon, direct from Panama. Michael, welcome.
Thank you. Yes, I'm in Panama City now. I've left the Darien Gap for now. Just got back from a trip deep inside the jungle. And you can still hear the birds, but I'm actually in the city.
Okay. So you've spent about 3 months down there now, I believe, seeing firsthand. It was truly an unbelievable journey that a lot of people are making from around the world to get to the United States. And I really want to hear about that in full detail from you. But could you just start by orienting us a little bit? What is the Darien Gap? Why did you go there?
Right. I've spent 3 months here so far in Panama and another almost 2 weeks in Colombia on the other side of the Darien Gap. The Darien Gap, if you pull out a map, you'll see there's the Darien Isthmus, which is the Panama Isthmus, that little spit of land between Central America and South America. So the northernmost country in South America is Colombia, right? So extracontinental migrants, they've come in from Africa, Asia, and some from Europe. They'll fly into Ecuador usually, or Brazil mostly. There's a couple of other places, but those are where most of them go through because they don't require visas. So if you want to come from, say, Congo, you'll fly to Brazil first or Ecuador, and then take a bus and go to Colombia. And then from Colombia, you walk into the Darien Gap. So I've gone on the Colombia side, only walked in the jungle about an hour, not very far. And then I came back out and flew up to Panama and to intercept them coming back out. Because it's very dangerous in there. I would say, based on the many interviews over the last three and a half months, I would say about 10% actually die. So it's a very high number. I've heard other people say only 1% or whatever. They're completely wrong. It depends on which route they take. If they take the hard route, it's going to be probably 10% or more actually die. And almost everybody comes out with some sort of injuries, disease, haven't eaten for a week, that sort of thing. So basically, between Yavitsa, Panama, and Turbo, Colombia, there is a gap of jungle that's about 66 miles where there's no road, right? And this is some of the wildest jungle in the world. Not all jungles are created equally, trust me. I've been in a lot of them. This one is particularly bad. It's particularly bad for many reasons. One is the mountains. Another is it's just so much rain. And the mud is special here. If you know much about really operating the mud versus walking through mud puddles, mud is a very significant factor in many things in life, especially walking through mountains and jungles and flooded areas. And so it's also very biologically active. Yellow fever is endemic. Huge numbers of people out there have malaria. You can hear the rain right now. You can hear the thunder. I mean, this is daily, right? And so there's flash floods that kill tons of people. I don't mean every once in a while. I mean, last week, there was a group of 20 people from Senegal and 10 were dead. So that's at least one was a flash flood. At least one fell off of a cliff. And we don't know how the other 8 died, but that was what the Senegalese people said. So, I mean, this is normal. That's 50% right there. But I would say on whole, the average seems to be at least 10% if you go the hard route. And a lot of them just get lost. I mean, they just vanish. We don't really know how many go in because I've been on the Colombia side researching that they come in from many different ways. There's no way to know how many come in. There's actually no way to know how many come out. But what we do know from the many, many interviews is that the people that we do find who come out, if we ask them, did you see anybody die or any dead people? Almost every one of them will say that they saw somebody die or dead. One guy recently, a few days ago, said he saw 16 dead. He was counting as he came through. And so that's one man said he saw 16, which is, par for the course. Others just say 2 or 3. But think about that. So it's a week-long trip, and the average person sees at least several people either die or dead.
Be sure to watch the entire episode, now available exclusively at EpochTV.com. a new completely censorship-free premium subscription platform brought to you by the Epoch Times. See you there.